Today went well, episode 9. We are your
Yep.
hosts, Matthew and Sean. So today's episode, we're going on, probably I'd say one of the top 10 problems in the U.S., and that is your sleep. Now, hit that like button if you have had any sleep problems since COVID, since 2020. Like, I can personally say myself, like this past couple of weeks, like I'll find myself just laying in the bed, rolling back and forth, trying sleep techniques, trying to loosen up my body and all this other stuff. And it's like, if I can't even get to sleep, how am I gonna wake up and be the best I can be? Sean, let me ask you, like, tell me your sleep experience, your sleep story.
Oh man. I'm pretty bad at waking up in the morning. I'm not really much of a morning person. You've seen it. Like I'll be waking up sometimes all groggy, and I'll be wondering. I'm just like, because since we used to live together at one point, I'll be like, man, how did he get up so quick? Because me, usually I'll wake up and I'll just linger in bed for extra 30 minutes, hours sometimes. Um, Usually depends. So I know with me, like I have to have a set amount of sleep, unless I don't know. I feel like if it's urgent, like if I know I have somewhere to be, then it's a little bit easier for me to get out of bed. But if I don't have that sense of urgency, sometimes I'm just lingering in bed. So when it comes to me getting the right amount of rest, yeah, I'd say I gotta have a full night's sleep. I gotta have a full 7, 8 or more hours. And usually when I sleep in, I'm like, yeah, I feel great. But yeah, when it comes to sleep, it really if I mess that up, then I'll be feeling terrible most of the time. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta fix my sleep schedule. I gotta make sure it's good. But it's so beneficial. Like once you wake up early enough in the day and you have time to do some of the things you might need to before you go to work, or you know, get you some breakfast, drink you some tea, coffee, no caffeine, a little bit of caffeine, whatever you got to do, whatever's your means to obtain some energy at the beginning of your day, whether you got enough sleep or not. Like I feel like that sets the tone. So if you're eating the right foods or whatever you got to do, I think once you know what type of tone you need to set for your day, that really it's very beneficial. So it'll be a little bit easier to do the next thing. You had you know a healthy breakfast, so it might be a little bit easier for you to have the healthy lunch and dinner and so on, and you rinse repeat. So a healthy sleep regimen is a healthy lifestyle, like especially if you keep that up. And that can be hard to do. Sometimes life can happen and you be like, oh man, I ended up getting less sleep than usual. But usually like the people that get enough sleep, they tend to be just more aware. They're more attentive to things. I found myself having an even shorter attention span when I'm tired. So usually I'm just like, man, I'm not trying to hear nothing right now. I just need to get through the day, and I need to fix this because I can't be getting 2 and 3 hours of sleep every day. I get cranky. So yeah.
No, I hear you. Like I was looking at an article on this Healthline that was published in like February 24th, 2020, and they were saying like one of the like a couple side effects of like lack of sleep is like irritability, memory loss, and like you can't even really like loss of like concentration. They say like chronic lack of sleep can lead to Alzheimer's and other neurological disorders. Constant lack can lead to even memory loss. And then while asleep, like your body literally is limiting toxins and products and byproducts. So if you're not giving your body that time to, clean itself, recuperate, revive, and all that, then like it's just gonna build up with all that nasty stuff that you don't want to keep in. So you just take that time. It's worth it. You can stay up, play games another time, you can talk to that girl another time, unless you're making not even money is not worth your health. So get your sleep. Don't worry. We gotta get more. We want to evolve ourselves, but like don't let it take your life. Live to enjoy that money. Don't just let live to die. Or what is it? Is that? I don't even know.
Yeah, speaking of sleep, our boy here, he had a real productive day. So, but no, other than that, Yeah, I get what you were trying to say. Like, you know, you gotta sleep to live. Don't live to sleep. Because that's where that, hey man, like if a lot of people that are asleep all the time, but you know, they're just
Yeah,
absolutely doing nothing all the time, and that can be a problem, especially if you know you have responsibilities like in real life responsibilities. It depends, but yeah, I'm not really much of like a napper. I feel like I really have to be tired, and I do it to recuperate. I don't nap because I'm bored. There's a lot of people I know. I'm just like, yeah, I don't have anything to do, so I'm gonna take a nap. And they just roll up, sleep. It's just like, oh, I fell asleep. I'm like, man, how do you just sleep? You just sleep on command. The only other people I know that can sleep on command are old people. But hey, man, like it obviously, like the older you get, like that can creep up on you. All those all-nighters and all that were more fun, during your adolescent years, they can catch up to you. So, it you you just learn as you get older, especially neglecting your sleep. I'm like, man, I ain't got time for all that. I gotta sleep because I need that energy. I need to wake up feeling rejuvenated. It's not just cause I'm old, I'm boring, like, But me personally, just sleeping just to sleep, nah. Like I usually sleep if I know I'm tired, so it's more practical for me. I'm like, nah, I'm bored. I'm gonna take a nap. But I've never really fallen asleep out of boredom. Like I've only really felt fallen asleep if I was actually tired. So it just made more sense for me. I used to hate uh being told to, like, oh, go to bed, take a nap. I'm like, but I'm not tired. Like I felt like a punishment for me. I'm like, as a child, might be acting up. My mom be like, go to bed, go in your room, no TV. And I'm just laying there like, what am I supposed to do? I can't force myself to sleep, So I'd be just laying there mad. I'm just like, I don't want to talk to my mom for the rest of the day. She's making me go to sleep when I'm not even tired. It's 2 p.m. Saturday. I'm
get
like,
the
man,
sunlight coming in the window.
it's like coming to the window. I'm just laying there.
Hmm.
I'll walk out the room like, Mom, I'm thirsty. Just like, you supposed to be in bed. I'm like, I'm not tired. I'm like, Mom, please, like, I got. I'm just trying to convince them like anything but a nap. Like, what am I supposed to do napping? I'm like, usually I was the type I had to go outside and play. Like I had to be tired. I had to be tired to sleep. So yeah, I never really forced myself to sleep. Only other time where I'd catch up with sleep, especially when I was going to school a lot and working a lot, I'd take a lot of power naps. So I learned to appreciate uh any kind of rest you could get, even if it was 10 minutes. I've taken 10-minute power naps. Like I've learned to appreciate power naps. It doesn't work for everybody, but I learned it worked for me, usually around the 20 to 30-minute mark, right before you enter a state of what's called sleep inertia. That's what really puts your body to sleep. Your brain is relaxed and you're completely unaware for the most part. There's some people, their awareness might be, more uh you know intact, or just they're just more in touch with their senses, I guess, than others. But there's a lot of people, yeah, once you're asleep, you asleep. You not you ain't listening to a conversation. You were just completely boom. Brain is just off. You asleep. Just not much to it. But yeah, I'm like, before I go to work, sometimes I take a power nap in my car. There was one time I worked at I was a seasonal at Target, and I was tired. I didn't even get sleep. I think I just stayed up and just went straight to my midnight shift because I worked at a second job, got out at about 8 p.m. I'm like, man, I'm not even tired at the moment. You know, I just knew it wouldn't work out because I'm like, if I'm already a couple hours in, I'll wake up groggy and all that, and then it'll be I'll be several hours late for my shift. And working at a place like Target, they'd be on you for being even a minute late. And it was annoying because I was working on an overnight shift, and it was always overnight, just so it wouldn't conflict with my day job. I'd be working from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m., 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., sometimes 2 to 8. It was really weird hours. So finding that time to get the right rest, it was a challenge, but I knew it was temporary because I mean obviously I was seasonal for the holiday season. So there was one time we had like a good 45, 50-minute lunch break. I want to say I ate something real quick. I went in my car. It was cold as hell. And I turned on my engine on my car, cranked the heat up, reclined the seats. I was asleep for a good 45 minutes. And I woke up, felt great. Felt great. I was a little groggy because, I mean, slept a little longer than 30 minutes. Man, we all went inside, back in the building, back to our shift. Uh, I bought like 2 cans of Rockstar or something. It was like a fruit punch flavored energy drink. It actually, it was cool. I hate energy drinks too. So I'm like, man, chugged that. I was wired and I felt great. I was awake. Sometimes you just need a little bit of rest to recuperate. You need to collect those Z's and just you gotta recollect. You just gotta rejuvenate and obtain that energy. So yeah, with that said, don't work at Target because you will be tired. And if you have a second job, Target will be on you for being even a millisecond late. Like, oh yeah, you weren't on time. And it's like I can't just walk through the door. I gotta buzz the door and wait for somebody to walk all the way across Target to open the door. No, man, no. But with that said, having the right amount of rest, it's subjective. It's not. There's no correct answer for any single person. It's really a matter of what works for you. I usually know for me, if I sleep if I'm anywhere short of 6 hours, then I already know I'm gonna be tired. So really 7+ hours is a good mark for me. So really getting to know yourself and analyzing your patterns and analyzing like how much sleep do I really need, what time do I have to sleep, like calculate the amount of hours you need. So sometimes you gotta make sure you're putting your rest first because there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I'd love to pull this all nighter, but I'd only pull all nighters if I know that I have nowhere to go. But even then, sometimes I'm like, I just want to wake up early. I don't want to wake up feeling groggy because if I pull that all nighter now, then it's gonna bleed. It's gonna roll over into my week when I actually have stuff to do, and that might not really work out the way I want it to. And plus, as an adult, it just gets less and less. Uh, it's just not necessary after a while. You just like pulling all these all nighters. It's not really as fun as it used to be when you were in middle school and high school. I used to do that all the time. I'm like wasn't old enough to work or nothing like that, so it was really just homework, all nighters, watch some movies, binge on some shows, binge through video games and snack, bro. It was just different. I'll still do it though. I mean, obviously, I don't see myself like never doing it again, but sparingly. So I don't know about
Yeah.
you. I don't know about you, the viewer, but really, it's just a matter of your preference and your priorities. So whatever it is you're doing, I'd say sleep is essential. You have to sleep. There's a lot of people I know they've neglected their sleep and they just be tired and they just hardwired themselves and they're just not sleeping as much and they're just always
Yeah.
tired. And I'm like, and they're used to it at some point. I want to say I was borderline an insomniac at one point because I stayed up a lot. Like I would pull all nighters all the way up till 8 a.m. from sun up, sun down, and I'd be falling asleep 2 p.m., wake up at 8, and my whole sleep schedule was all over the place to the point where my mother, like, she got me more aware of certain cures, more natural cures to insomnia. So, drinking teas, the right herbs, chamomile tea, lavender, uh, melatonin,
Passion.
yeah, passion tea, stuff like that, where there's no caffeine, it's the right herbs, uh, you have the right quote unquote remedies for that. So I feel like some insomnia is worse than others. I feel like mine was kind of it. It was curable. I guess I was never professionally diagnosed with it. I just knew I always had trouble sleeping for the longest time. So, like the biggest thing for me was taking like melatonin, and they even made them in the form of gummies. And I don't have them with me, but yeah, they're really good though. I guess it depends on the amount of strength. Like I took like 10 milligram melatonin gummies, and they worked well. You take them a good 30 minutes, hour before you sleep, and you just fall asleep faster. So if you time that right with, oh, I need to sleep at 11, that way I could wake up, effortlessly at 8 a.m. or whatever, 7 a.m. Get whatever calculated right. You know, hop in bed at 10:30. You already popped your little melatonins. Boom, you're good. So that was usually my way of fixing it. But I'd say definitely for those that have like a far worse, uh, far more issues with insomnia and whatnot, I'd say you'd have to, get some professional help with a doctor and, really get the help you really need professionally. We're not professionals. I'm just going off of what worked for me. I just take simple melatonin, tablets, gummies, and, some of the more over the counter stuff or more natural, you know, ways to ease that stress. And speaking of stress, our next episode will be on stress. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, yeah. Anything else you'd like to add, Matt?
Hey, yeah. Sean, you did a good job. You covered like pretty much a good amount of stuff, especially with that with the food content, definitely with the teas. Me personally, I picked up the ways of the secret Navy code. You can't, keep this on the hush hush. This is exclusive to OD Dub. So, I'm glad you are here so you can get this free content. Now, I had to interrogate this 24-year Navy vet. So, you're welcome. Now, the trick is, release the muscles in your body from starting from your head all the way down to your toes. You just do that in perfect succession. Start breathing in and out, and you literally fall asleep in 2 minutes. I promise you that. Try it. After you checking out this episode, hit that like button. And that's going to be it from us on OD.
I actually never thought of that. That sounds like a real form of meditation where you're focusing on relaxing certain muscle groups, which I've done that before. I used to take like a little yoga elective course or whatever when I was in when I went to charter school in high school. And it was really cool. Like the instructor had you focus on relaxing certain muscle groups, like feel the senses of touch in your fingers. And it's like I don't even know how. Like obviously just moving, you're not doing the most to move. You just do it. You do it on command. Your brain is doing all that. But in a way, when you're focusing on it, you just know you're going to move your fingers. You know you're going to move certain muscle groups. So when she said just focus on that muscle group, like put your mind toward, just from head to toe, uh focus on your neck, focus on your arms, your fingers, your toes, your legs. And it got to a point just like, now relax those, don't move. And then it got to a point where she made you focus on your breathing, to the point there was at one point where I just fell asleep. It was I fell asleep. I woke up. I'm like, oh man, like I was so relaxed. But falling asleep through, like in that way, I never really thought of it like that. So I might have to try that. So sometimes you really do have to focus on actually calming and relaxing your body. Some people, they seem a little too tense, or they're distracting themselves, or they might be watching some shows, and their brain is still occupied. If you were to put that focus into relaxing your muscles, then maybe that'll help a lot. I mean, shoot, honestly, nah, that's some good stuff. I never really thought of it like that. So yeah, give this video a like, subscribe, dislike, don't subscribe. We don't want to be too cliche with that, but hey, do whatever you feel is right. Preferably a like and subscription would be great, but hope you all like this episode. Our day went well. We hope yours went well after tuning in. So
Peace.